Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time on Doctor Who, we had Chapter 4 of Flux. This is Chapter 5, what am I talking about? I can never get these right apparently. We had Chapter 4 of Flux, Village of the Angels. So, the gist of it is... Has anyone thought of the word gist? It's kind of a gross word. It's like cusp. Have you ever thought about the word cusp? Everyone keeps talking about moist. Moist is kind of funny, but cusp. Ugh, it just sounds weird. Anyway, the Angel took the TARDIS back in time, and then the Doctor got separated from Yaz and Dan, who were sent back in time again to 1901 by an Angel, and then the Doctor was dealing with the Angel within Claire, and she was being helped by Professor Eustachius Jericho. And then they found out that the Weeping Angels here work for the Division, and then they started to get out. Jericho was sent back to 1901, but they started to get out, and then the Angel was like, actually, I've made a better deal. I've changed the deal. Pray I do not change it further. And basically gave up the Doctor to the Weeping Angels instead of them, because the Doctor is way more valuable to the Division than this Weeping Angel. So yeah, then the Doctor got stoned and turned into a Weeping Angel, which is pretty crazy. And that's kind of where we ended it. It was a very strange cliffhanger, and honestly, I don't know where we're going from here. So, I don't think, now that I'm thinking about it, there was like very little Swarm or Azure. We had a cameo. Azure showed up where Bell was and took people into the passenger, but Bell was able to save one person, and then she went on her way, and then Vinder showed up, so there's all of that. So yeah. Yeah, so I guess that was basically that. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and see what's happening here in the penultimate episode of Doctor Who Flux. Let's go ahead and jump right into this chapter of Doctor Who Flux. Here we go. Wait, the director's name is Azure? Wait a second. Chapter 5, Survivors of the Flux. So if we stop looking at her, can she move? Oh. Okay, she's free now. That's just how they move about. That's just how they take people from one place to another.
My friends are never lost.
1904, Mexico. Oh.
Our pulley system needs work.
Wait, they've been here for 3 years? Does anyone else feel really bad for Dan? Like, he's really just been caught up in all this. I mean, like any... Nope. Well, I guess like any companion.
Was nearly a kebab.
Oh. Oh, they're cool.
Oh, this is spectacular.
Oh, I'm glad we get to keep Jericho. Whoa. Oh, hello. Been a while. Where the hell is here? Wait. Is this a TARDIS? It kind of looks like it.
Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Oh, you again.
This is Division, Doctor.
This is Division.
Welcome back.
Basically, this pot can decipher the exact date the world is going to end.
This is some Martha shit right here, honestly.
We've got a task. We have to stick to it.
What is that
Does
task?
anyone else smell burning?
Oh.
Get her out of here now, everyone get back!
Up this way.
Put it on the fuse! Why would you not put it on the fuse?
December 5th? But no year.
December 5th.
Just one moment.
December 5th is next Sunday. The finale.
Are you new?
Came aboard for this leg bomb. One lump or two, sir.
One, please.
Nope. Whoa. Good job, Yaz. Oh, be a cop, please.
Answer the question,
Oh my god. Oh. Dang it.
Roll him under the bed for now.
Hang on. Under the bed's where I sleep.
Then come nightfall when
Duh.
it's quiet, shove his body overboard.
Jesus.
What?
I mean, he's already dead, but yeah.
Listen to this, Miss Khan.
There's no use being squeamish. We've got the future to save.
To be fair, she's a cop, you know? She has to deal with stuff.
So, how long did you say you'd been in the area?
Farquhar?
Not long at all, sir.
Wait a minute.
I've been tasked with setting up the British end of a new task force funded by the United Nations, dealing with threats from beyond our understanding.
Oh, this guy starts unit?
What an extraordinary coincidence.
Is he from the Division, then?
I may say so.
So, the Grand Serpent helped found unit? The hell?
Earth has been shielded from the Flux, but it'll be vulnerable. It'll become a target. If the Flux is destroying the universe, if planets and stars are being wiped out,
Then they're gonna want to go for the only good place.
Who need a home, somewhere to take over. But that would mean a time of battle for ownership of the Earth. You need to find out where and when that will be. And events like the Flux
Okay.
create ripples. What did those operatives do?
Anything we needed. Guided and shaped events.
Interfered. In contravention of all Time Lord directives.
Not every civilization works or is enlightened. Some require help. Some needed to be told. Division assessed and acted accordingly.
How much did it interfere?
It is interesting how they are
big is it
different from the Time
Colossal.
Lords.
We're not in the universe, Doctor.
We're in the void, aren't we? Whoa, shit!
Don't you dare hyperjack me.
Oh no, you've been hyperjacked. Bye. You know what? I wouldn't want to go there anyway.
Oh, that's rough.
Ow. Of course, that's where Vinder is.
Still, no choice.
Wait,
I
was
have to drive. Someone's in a hurry to get away.
that like a time vortex manipulator? I don't know. Either way, I guess that confirms they're in 2021.
So here we are, outside one universe, on the cusp of many more.
God dang it! Don't say cusp!
Division is moving into the next. The crossing is in progress.
Huh.
In this place?
My seed vault. Genetic
Ew.
traces from the previous universe to import into the next. To preserve what will have gone.
That universe isn't going anywhere.
It's over, Doctor.
I have the high
Has been ever
ground.
since we let a virus into the experiment.
What sort of virus?
You.
What?
You got out. Yeah, I blame myself a little, but mostly I blame you. I
Fuck
thought
you.
you were manager. You interfere, disrupting the flux just as it came into existence. Throwing yourself and a TARDIS in front of it.
Don't you dare say her
Division
name like
created
that.
The Flux.
I'm the one who found you.
Ah!
I brought you to Gallifrey and raised you.
Oh my god! It's Tecteun.
I'm Tecteun.
Ah, shit. 1967 unit.
I'd have had second thoughts.
Oh, that uniform, though.
Whereas you, apprentice, barely look a day older.
Man, where's Benton and
What's your
Yates?
secret?
Clear conscience, sir.
Maybe they're too young. Nah.
New corporal. Brought him in after we missed the whole thing at the post office tower. He's a shouter, but he's very good.
Hell yeah.
Nah, as human as they come.
Well, this is awkward. Oh god, I want Lethbridge Stewart to come in and shoot the fuck out of him. What in God's name? Oh, 'cause he's a serpent! For a second I thought I was about to go up his butt. No, it just melds into him.
So, was what the master told me true?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Speaking of, where is the master?
What if whoever left me there was taken by that wormhole.
What if, what if, what if?
You denied me my life.
I gave you a life. Everything you are is because of me. But I understand.
Bitch!
You think you could have been someone
Don't
else?
even.
Someone else?
Could have been the arrow.
You judge me for giving you the journey of your lifetime.
But I don't think you made the Doctor.
Pick people up, take them with you. You adopt them, use them for reassurance, for company.
Oh, shit.
This just shows I was right to order your memories erased. Ood
Huh.
got her.
What the fuck is an Ood gonna do? So, okay, so she specifically ordered the memories erased.
Did you not think we would detect you?
No, I was pretty sure you could.
Nah, yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
Oh. Good job, Vinder.
Tiny.
What about some food? A rope? A pot? The latest Conan Doyle?
Duh.
Does seem rude now you come to mention it.
I'm teasing you.
Nah. Okay, I like this guy.
Really? I don't get to tease people much.
Nah. The Doctor would love this guy.
Fetch
Fetch.
your
Oh no.
dog.
Dog.
Does this make any sense to you?
Carvanista.
And if it
Oh my gosh, Dan has a beard now.
I hope it looks all right.
Oh my god, now he has a beard now.
Never know, really.
Carvanista, Dan is here, 1904. Fetch your human.
What the Rayfax is that? I don't have time travel, you idiot.
Nah.
Oh, humans are so annoying, especially him.
That is very clever.
Quick. There's nowhere near enough of it.
This is all that remains.
Oh,
The
God.
first flux event.
It's not centered correctly.
That is Earth.
Wait. The universe is collapsing in on
Will
Earth?
be the ultimate apex of destruction.
Oh my God.
Designed that way.
What is that noise? That whispering.
I cannot hear it.
Oh, good, it's just her.
How can you not hear that?
Oh god. Oh, right, the Tim Burton house. The Fog Watch.
I see you found it.
That's all of her memories then.
still no response from the dog.
And still no doctor.
Oh, they shaved.
Oi! What are you doing?
Oh, this guy.
A ship?
The Gallifreyan device for the protecting and storage of memories and identities. Of course you kept them.
Yeah.
The memories you took from me.
She kept the Fog
Science
Watch.
never throws away. Everything has been transferred now. Stored in that fog watch.
How much
Oh,
was lost?
fob? Thought it was fog. Excuse me.
How many lives?
What if I offered you a choice?
What?
You can return to the dying universe you left, defend it from its inevitable destruction, and fail. Or rejoin Division. Rejoin me. Come with
Third
us
option.
into the next universe, into
We
the
beat the
beyond.
shit out of you,
Build
take the
your
watch,
memories
and leave.
That universe may be where you're from. Where you began. Your origins, perhaps. Think of the discoveries that would await us both there.
Interesting. I kind of like how they're
We'll
doing that.
start.
If you really knew me, you'd know I'd never agree to any of this.
Yeah. Would you rather get her origins or have the Doctor do what she does?
I've been fighting Unit's corner, your corner, for a while.
Oh,
But
Kate.
these turbulent times, Kate. I'm afraid this is the moment we must concede defeat.
Kate, 5-round rapid,
Phrase
please.
fits well in my family, or unit itself.
Nevertheless, Unit's operations will be wound down forthwith.
Forthwith. Oh, this is the build-up to... What is it, Resolution?
I see you. Whatever you are. Hiding in plain sight for so long, barely aging. You're gambling that nobody cares. That nobody looks at UNIT anymore. This task force has been many lifetimes' work for me and my family. I will not let it be sabotaged from within.
You really need to calm down, Kate.
I am the head of a unit. And if you don't
Right.
stop this, I will expose you. And I shan't hesitate to call in a favor from someone you really don't want to argue with.
Oh, shit. Now, Kate can't die, right? Not like this.
Osgood, I have to go dark.
Nah. Oh. Was that a flip phone? Or I don't know, that looked like a normal phone. Like a normal smartphone that she just broke in half. Like a champion.
You have the list of target cities.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Okay, so the Grand Serpent is invading the Earth.
The proposal is acceptable.
Oh, it's...
Now, let us make war.
He's working with the Santarans, that makes sense. Huh, so the Santarans are in 1904 as well.
And the end of the universe? It's personal now.
Ah.
Gonna win.
No.
Oh shit! What are they doing here?
Get here.
To get revenge on those who imprisoned us so long ago.
Wait, can we do an alliance of convenience?
You released me. Now I release you.
Ah! Well, there goes that.
Now, Doctor.
Ah! Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot. Tecteun is dead. Okay, so Swarm and Azure have taken back the spot of seasoned villains now that Tecteun is dead. Oh man, oh man. Very, very interesting stuff here. You know what I'm glad for? I'm glad we're keeping Professor Jericho. Like, he's honestly just now, like, the next... He's companion number 4, honestly. Okay. Interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff, without a doubt. Okay, so... You know, now that I sit here and think about it, did that tell us anything? I don't know if it really did. I don't know if that really told us a thing. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that, actually. Okay. So, the angels. People have been speculating, and this is speculation for years, on if the Weeping Angels are in fact Time Lords. That has not been answered at all. I guess we got a little bit of an answer of what is the division, you know? They seem to be this, you know, a faction born from Gallifrey, born at the same time as the Time Lords, yet have gone so much further than the Time Lords. You know what? I have a new respect for the Time Lords. You know what? Holy crap. Okay. And everything with the Doctor and the Timeless Child. I mean, I guess definitive answer, because I've seen people say, since we watched The Timeless Children, I've seen people say, well, it's possible that the Master is lying, you know? And I never really believed that, because I thought they put too much into that. They spent too much time talking about it for the Doctor not to be the Timeless Child, you know? But this is confirmation from Tecteun herself that the Doctor is the Timeless Child. Of course, that's the thing, though. The episode is called The Timeless Children, you know? The Doctor is... the episode is called The Timeless Children. I know that could be referring to the many different forms of the Timeless Child, but I don't know. Okay, but we still don't have answers. I almost feel like we aren't going to get answers, you know? And maybe that is okay. Maybe that is okay, you know? I mean, if that fob watch is destroyed, if the fob watch is destroyed, then the Doctor will never regain those memories of being the Timeless Child. But maybe that's for the best, because, you know, we have the whole thing of, you know, well, when John Smith looked at the fob watch and he became the Doctor again, it was the Doctor. John Smith was in there somewhere, but we don't want that happening now, where it's the Timeless Child taking over, you know? The Timeless Child becomes dominant again, and the Doctor is just somewhere. We don't want that, so... See, the biggest mystery, though, because, yeah, like, okay, I don't need to know how many lives the Doctor has had or anything as the Timeless Child. The only really pressing question is the question of the fugitive Doctor and where her placement is. Like, is she before the first Doctor, or is she somewhere else? That's the most pressing question. And honestly, now that I think about it, someone actually left a comment on the last episode where they basically suggested that we may never get an answer on the fugitive Doctor. And a part of me is okay with that. Now, I know some of you classic Doctor Who fans, you may be thinking, oh, he's okay with that. He's okay with not getting an explanation on that. But that, I don't know. I'm kind of okay. That's the one where it's like, no, I want an explanation about that. I don't need anything else about the Timeless Child, because that's not important. What's important is the lives of the Doctor, you know? What's important to the show is the lives of the Doctor, not the Timeless Child. But I am curious as to where we are, you know, where does the fugitive Doctor place? I would still love there to be some sort of weird... It's impossible to do this now, I think. But I would still love an explanation like that either she's the 14th Doctor, or if she's the Timeless Child, she had to specifically take on the identity of the Doctor from the Doctor, you know? And I know there have also been theories now. So we've had theories that... Bell and Vinder's child will be the Timeless Child. That I don't think can happen. I don't think that works. I don't think that would work out in this. I have actually seen, though, a theory that Vinder will regenerate into the fugitive Doctor, which would be weird, but it'd be very interesting. And then, if that's the case, then, you know, Vinder regenerates into Ruth, basically, and then she needs an identity, and she decides, well, there was that Doctor, you know, woman that I met, you know, a long time ago. I guess I could, you know, maybe borrow that identity. That would be so interesting if that was the case, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I feel like we've learned nothing and something at the exact same time with this episode, which is slightly infuriating, and I don't know if we're going to get anything in the next episode. Next episode is the finale. Is anyone else kind of like... Is it kind of weird for anyone else the next episode is the finale, you know? But I mean, I kind of say that sometimes when we're watching classic Doctor Who episodes, like, oh man, we only have, you know, 2 episodes left in this story, and it's kind of the same thing here, you know? kind of the same thing here, but yeah, I don't know. Okay. So, they talk about the task, finding the date of the battle for the battle for Earth after the Flux. And it's interesting they said they needed a year, but the year is very obvious. It's 2021. The date, and I love this because we talked about this last time, the date is December 5th. Next Sunday is December 5th. Tomorrow, from when this episode goes up, tomorrow is December 5th, which is when the finale is going to happen. I absolutely love that. I love that they've kept up continuity of when these episodes air, from Halloween to November the 21st, now to December 5th. I love that. And they've done that before. Someone pointed out, and I forgot about it, but yeah, the finale to Series 5, the date that they said, where pretty much the universe ends, basically, that was the date that episode aired, it was, Amy and Rory's wedding. So I like that they did that again, that it's December 5th, But honestly, yeah, it's like, oh, what year is it going to be? Well, probably 2021, when the universe is at its weakest, Alright, so the Division, they interfere, which is interesting. Though created on Gallifrey, they are the ones that interfere as opposed to the Time Lords. The thing, though, can I just say, I don't know how Rassilon would allow this, Can we mention that real quick? Like, from what little I have seen of Rassilon, and it's very little, but how would Rassilon allow this? In fact, I'm very curious, like, how does the Division exist? Like, oh, they interfere and stuff like that. It's like, so where were you guys during anything related to the Daleks? Where were they during the Time War, Because who was front and center in the Time War? The Doctor and the Time Lords. And that's the thing. The Time Lords, that was their big thing. It's like, oh, they don't interfere. They only observe unless it suits them, specifically with the Doctor. But that's why the Doctor and the Master and the meddling monk, they all go rogue. They all go rogue from the Time Lords in their own ways, But that's the big thing for the Time Lords, is when the Time Lords face the Daleks in war. But I guess the Division didn't care about that. But again, just from what little I've seen, it's like, how would someone like Rassilon or Omega or any, like, I guess the founders of the Time Lords, because that's the thing, we've had that, what is it, that it's Omega and Rassilon, basically, were the founders of the Time Lords. Excuse me. Rassilon and Omega were the founders of the Time Lords. But now, we have it to where, well, that's not exactly it, it's Tecteun. Tecteun is the founder of the Time Lords. Though, I don't think that's really a contradiction. I would imagine it's Tecteun, Omega, and Rassilon, But, so, presumably, these three create the Time Lords on Gallifrey, based on, where I guess Omega and Rassilon work on the Eye of Harmony and creating, the TARDISes and everything. Tecteun uses the Timeless Child to create the regenerations, to create a Time Lord, to perfect the Time Lord. So then, after that, Tecteun separates from Rassilon and Omega and creates the division, the interfering branch, basically, of the Time Lords. But I don't know. I don't see how someone like Rassilon would allow that, you know? I mean, obviously, it happened. But I'm very curious. And that's the thing. I was kind of thinking going through this when it's like, how are we going to beat Tecteun? And it's like, why don't we bring back Rassilon? I feel like he would go against the division, you know? Because that's not Time Lord. And granted, again, this is on my limited Rassilon knowledge. I've only seen him in a little bit of, a couple episodes. Like a handful of episodes, maybe. But honestly, yeah, I feel like Rassilon would do that. Because I was thinking, like, okay, how do we, what can we do? Like, the Doctor is amazing. But this is some major stuff the Doctor is dealing with now. The division, this organization that exists outside of space and time and interferes with everything and is literally destroying and compressing the universe before moving on to another. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, the Doctor is good, but that's a tall order for the Doctor to manage, And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, who would be someone, my first thought is, okay, well, who could help against Tecteun in the division? The Master. The Master definitely could. No, we haven't seen the Master since the end of Series 12. We don't know if he's alive. Let's face it, he's probably alive. It's the Master, for God's sake. But I don't know. But then I was also thinking, what if they brought back Rassilon? What if the Doctor teamed up with Rassilon to defeat the division? And then Swarm and Azure showed up and just fucking killed Tecteun. So, good to know that you can't regenerate from that. Makes sense, but yeah, Tecteun is not this god of the division, Like, Tecteun is as Time Lord gets, Like, she's practically, I mean, with the only exception, I would imagine that Tecteun had unlimited regenerations. She limited the Time Lord specifically, but I would imagine that she has unlimited regenerations. But that ain't good enough. I don't care how many experiments you did. Swarm and Azure are stronger. And they just killed Tecteun. That's just that. Man, to think Tecteun has been out there all this time. Which, I mean, it makes sense. Because we don't know how the Timeless Child ended and the Doctor began. For some reason, Tecteun took away the memories of the Timeless Child. Why? Maybe it was a punishment? I mean, she said, well, we thought we could manage you. So maybe what she was thinking, because I've always questioned, why would the division give up the Timeless Child to become a normal Time Lord? But maybe, because they talk about, like, oh, morality was always your weakness. So the Timeless Child was very similar to the Doctor. But where the Timeless Child had these unlimited regenerations and God knows what else, a part of their species, Tecteun actually tried to, I guess, depower the Timeless Child and use the chameleon arc in order to turn the Timeless Child into a Gallifreyan Time Lord. Thinking that it would be easier to manage, I mean, even just a Gallifreyan. Easier to manage a Gallifreyan. Let alone a Time Lord. But the Doctor is too clever. The Doctor is way too clever. See, it makes me curious, you know. It almost makes me wonder, and I know that this wouldn't be in the show at all. You know, this is all part of the new lore, basically, that's being added to the nearly 60-year-old show. But I'm curious, like, I wonder if... they're kind of doing it like... I wonder if Tecteun maybe has been observing the Doctor this whole time. I wonder if there's moments where it's like, oh, well, secretly, Tecteun was involved, but the Doctor was too clever, you know? Because, let's face it, when it's like, oh, we thought we could manage you easily, it's like, you would think, you know, when the Doctor was this doddering old man in a TARDIS that he can't control, you know, when he's this, you know, older man in a TARDIS he can't control, going around to various random planets and times with 2 teachers and his granddaughter. I don't know, but I mean, that even goes into the whole history of the Doctor that we don't even know. What was the Doctor like as a normal Time Lord before the events of An Unearthly Child? We don't know. We'll probably never know. Honestly, this episode maybe gave us an answer, at least the confirmation that the Doctor is the Timeless Child, but answered nothing else. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that it answers nothing else. And honestly, at this point, it's like, screw it. Let's just, like, Tecteun is dead. Let's defeat Swarm and Azure. We'll fix the universe, hopefully. I kind of wonder if they're almost doing this as a soft reboot, almost. Like, if they're sort of wiping away some of the history. And maybe that's the wrong term, but I mean, maybe if they're almost starting fresh. You know, if the universe, even just over the past 16 years of this show, of modern Doctor Who, if maybe we're trying to, like, almost reboot the universe. Not the Doctor. Like, the Doctor, I feel like, will come out of this relatively the same, but I wonder if this is almost like a soft reboot of the universe, and will then introduce new stuff, like, you know, because we've had a long story of the Daleks ever since, you know, the Emperor of the Daleks, the Cult of Skaro, going all the way into Matt Smith's era, going all the way, like, just keeps going with different versions of Davros and everything. Like, I almost wonder if, while the Doctor will be the same, this is almost a soft reboot of the universe. And then we could see, you know, new stuff, you know, we don't, like, even if we bring in Santar and Cybermen Daleks, like, it'll all be new stories, basically, that don't necessarily rely on the old stuff. It'll still be Dalek stuff, but it won't be Dalek stuff having to keep a continuity with old Dalek stuff, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I do love, this will be the last thing I talk about with Tecteun. And I can't believe I didn't think that she was Tecteun when we met her in the other episode. So, but I like how she basically gives the Doctor a choice of, well, you can rejoin Division, you can get all your memories back, you can become the Timeless Child again, or you can go try and save your universe. I like how they did that because we're all sitting here like, tell us stuff, we want to know. But just like the name of the Doctor, it just doesn't, you can't have that. You cannot have that answer. You cannot have that answer. You can't have any answer. I love, too, the Timeless Child doesn't have a name. I just assumed the Timeless Child didn't have a name. Or if the Timeless Child had a name, that would actually be the name that the Doctor kept, We don't know. But I like how they did that. It's like, okay, save all the innocent people, or just save the universe, or learn about yourself. And the choice that the Doctor will always make. Because even after all of this, it's like, does the Doctor want to know? I'm sure she does. But at the very least, the Doctor does know who she is. She's the Doctor. And it's sort of the same way where, in the name of the Doctor, it's like, well, do we want to know the Doctor's name? It's not important. The name that the Doctor was given at birth, we have to put that in quotes now, but that's okay. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the slightest. Because the name that the Doctor chose is the Doctor. That's the promise they made, And I like how they do that, where even though I feel like the Doctor could bust out some Venusian Aikido, knock the shit out of Tecteun, grab the fog watch, go back to the universe, get her memories, and save it all within the span of 5 seconds with a sandwich. That is the choice that Tecteun presented, and the Doctor will always choose the universe she loves over her own self-gain, And even though the Doctor does have their selfish moments, and that's completely fine, but when it comes down to her memories or the universe, she will choose the universe. Okay. 1904. Dan, I love, this is some Martha shit right here, where it's like, spent a year in a different world, kind of, Martha, who had the year under the rule of the Master, and now Yaz and Dan, who have spent 3 years in, the early 1900s, searching for these answers. And I love that, mainly because of Dan. Yaz is used to this kind of stuff. Maybe not, spending 3 years away from the Doctor like that in a different time, but Yaz is used to stuff like this. She is accustomed to time travel and stuff. Dan, before all of this, before the Angels, had been doing this for maybe, and I think this is a very generous maybe, a week. Because, literally, let's follow Dan's timeline. It's the funniest thing. Dan's timeline is Halloween, gets picked up by Carvanista, rescued by the Doctor, gets taken to the Crimean War, immediately gets taken back to 2021, where it's a couple days later. Not for him, but for 2021. He comes back a few days later. Goes, blows up the Santaran war effort, gets picked up by the Doctor, goes to Atropos. After Atropos, gets into the TARDIS where there's an angel, and ends up there. That maybe, and I mean maybe, is the span of 1 day for Dan Lewis. Then the Doctor gets taken, and they have to stay there for 3 years. And that is just hilarious. That is so incredible just how Dan has been roped into this season, you know? It's not Graham, it's not Ryan, it's Dan. And it's so funny, you know? And Jericho, too. Jericho, who's also been roped into this, you know? He's also been roped into this, but still just Dan, who just happened, all because Carvanista hit, like, whatever it was, a time wake or whatever, and got ahead in finding his human. That's why Dan is in this, and I love that. It's mainly because this is such a strange season to introduce a new companion, but it's just brilliant, and I love it, and I love Dan, and I love John Bishop, and it's so amazing. All right. Also, the Grand Serpent was there for some fucking reason. I mean, I guess he... I like the explanation that's why when the Doctor tried to find Unit in Resolution, that they weren't there. Because they were, I guess, downsizing or whatever, and Kate was nowhere to be seen. So, and hey, I'm glad we got Kate Stewart back, and we got that nod to the Brigadier. I definitely believe that the Brigadier has known about the Grand Serpent Prentice for the entire time. So, I was just waiting for that 5 rounds rapid, though. Oh, well. Of course, you would think then that at some point, you know, the Brigadier would meet with Prentice, or at some point that Prentice would come across the Doctor, the third Doctor, you know? Right now, you know, I'm in the middle of the Doctor at Unit in my classic reactions. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind now, that the Grand Serpent is just somewhere. And they don't really care, I guess. Or at least the Doctor doesn't care. I would bet you the Doctor knew but didn't care. Yeah. And Lethbridge Stewart knew, but he was biding his time, you know? Until eventually, it fell to Kate, you know? Anyway. What else is there? Fetch your dog. That was funny. I like that. Having to call out to Carvanista. Didn't really do anything, though. Like, they called out to Carvanista, but I like how he looks at that and is like, I don't have time travel, you idiot. And that's just that. Like, okay, well, what was the point of that, then? Because eventually they made it to the tunnels, which was good. Which is where the Santarans are. Finally, this Williamson guy, like, he's doing something. So, yeah. So he's been observing, like, multiple times within the tunnels, which is interesting. And he's been waiting for someone to understand it. And they do understand it. But it's all about the shield, the Lupari shield, and the Santarans, which is interesting. We also had Vinder getting captured by the passenger, but he apparently knows how to get out, and he's also with Di, so that's pretty interesting. And then yeah, I do love at the end Swarm and Azure coming in and being like, excuse us, we're the villains of this season, not all this division garbage. And they just come in, they kill Tecteun and take over again. Like, oh, well, okay then. Because I was kind of thinking, like, as we were going through, like, maybe the Doctor will team up with Swarm and Azure to defeat the Division. And the Division is actually the villains. But no, it's Swarm and Azure. I would imagine, though, that this season is going to be, you know, we have to defeat the Flux, we have to repair the universe and defeat Swarm and Azure. But then, when we go into the last 3 specials, those are going to be about the Timeless Child, the Division, probably even the Master, you know? I would also love if they showed... Because now thinking about it, I could honestly see the Master being between John Sim and Michelle Gomez. Honestly, like, I could see after being stabbed by Missy, the Master regenerates into this one, which is why he's always fucking angry about shit. And then after all of this, maybe, you know, when Gallifrey exploded, it caused him to regenerate, and so he regenerates into Missy. That could be cool. I don't know. Anyway, I love how we've had 2 cliffhangers now of Swarm about to do something with his hand, you know? Because we had that at the end of episode 2, and then now we have that here at the end of this episode. But yeah, Tecteun is dead. She kind of blew it. I mean, they just walked into the division and she didn't know. Blowing it. Oh, God, excuse me. But yeah. Is there anything else I missed? I don't think so. Well, I guess the only other thing is that the other universe is the universe that the Timeless Child is from, which is interesting. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't know if maybe we're going to get some of that, but I don't know. You know what I could honestly see now that I'm thinking about it? Is maybe something happening that almost fuses the 2 universes together. So while we still have our universe with Earth, Santarans, Daleks, Cybermen, Gallifrey, all that stuff, we then have an entire other universe on top of it that we could explore. Maybe, I don't know. I also like that the Doctor can just look at the universe and be like, wait, this isn't right. Wait a second. I know what the universe looks like, and that's not right. So, and yeah, now it's all centered on Earth, and the entire thing is collapsing in on Earth, which is crazy. So, yeah. But yeah, that's basically it. Next time around, we've got the finale of Doctor Who Flux. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I have no idea what we're going to be doing in the next episode. The only thing I can think is defeating Swarm and Azure once and for all, and then repairing the universe and setting up the 3 specials that we have. So that's the only thing I can think. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot more to go, especially with the division and everything. But we'll have to see. We will definitely have to see. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Doctor Who reactions, as well as another playlist for all of our Doctor Who classic reactions. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.